So, let's start from the beginning.
You're here to slay her.
Das kennen wir ja schon. The end of the world, blah 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 blah. Have you considered your maybe reason because? Ich würde mal sagen, ich weiß nicht, ich habe beim letzten Mal, glaube ich, schon recht viel davon gesagt. Do I get some reward? Maybe I'm okay with the world ending. Okay, thank you for telling me what to do.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning. Before you go any further, she will lie. We're not going to go through. Ignore him.
Okay, wir haben bloß den Hero wieder im Kopf.
The interior of the cabin is all the blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This, her voice, soft.
Hello? Is someone there?
Is hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
You are? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
Maybe they should.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Hold on, let's talk a bit first. Okay, komm. Begin straight in.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Isn't a key? Do you have any other idea? I'm going to check upstairs. Maybe the key's still lying around somewhere up there. And if not, maybe I can at least find something to break you free.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. Your shouts and pleas are met. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Wow.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
Okay, weird.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Save the princess.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world.
Oh, jetzt kommt der Endboss. Der Narrator.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
I'm the narrator. I can everything.
Watch me.
What are you doing?
Ich verstehe immer nicht, warum eigentlich in Beast ist. On her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect.
Ruft nur Dodge!
Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever.
Problem.
She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right?
Right.
Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2. The damsel.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that, you're here to.
Oh, das kennen wir schon. Und das Déjà-vu. Wait, hasn't this already happened? Ich glaube, den hatte ich noch nicht gehabt, ne? The damsel. Wait, hasn't this already happened? Okay, no. But I died. What am I doing here?
I can assure you that you're not dead. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best.
Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess.
Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
Warum 4?
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Okay, proceed to the cabin. I'm telling the truth, and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing
Those are
anything?
two very different questions, but let's
Ah, ich
say
glaub, das hab ich
for
schon
a
mal
moment,
gefragt.
you died last time.
You were the one who did us in, villain.
Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princesses were.
I beg.
I'm not going to argue with
Back
you.
to differ.
I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations.
Das werden wir noch sehen.
Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Letzteres
If it's the
wahrscheinlich.
latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything just like I told you she would?
She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme.
Convoluted? I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
Wisst ihr, für sowas bräuchten wir einfach einen Drachen. With them, I'm going to find a way safer from the cabin.
That's right, you can't stop all of us.
We're going to sweep her off her feet if it's the last thing anyone does.
Are these really the sorts of people you'd like to align yourself with? You're not at the cabin yet. You still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes that you make the right call.
Proceed to the cabin.
A warning. Before she will lie.
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
That's what he said.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Genau. Proceed into the cabin. Ich weiß nicht, ob ich das Messer, ob ich den Dolch wieder mitnehmen soll.
The interior of the cabin
Oh.
is clean and elegant, its stone
Spiegelbilder.
walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
You didn't say anything on the cabin is different than last time.
Very different.
Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Stop letting yourself get distracted. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Ah, okay. Dann nehme ich mal die...
You take the
Klinge.
blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight, we need an equally dashing sword. That way she'll know we can defend her from her enemies.
Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge, and hopefully it doesn't get turned on us again. There's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Ich fand's hier ganz gemütlich, ne?
A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
Okay.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
Sieht das aber, glaube ich, ein bisschen anders aus, ne?
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
That's right, villain, and you killed us.
Well, she killed us.
Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
Aber sie hat ihren Arm wieder.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
Ja, klar.
We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise.
Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
You killed me last time, but it hurt a lot. Why did you do that?
You died, and now we're talking.
Okay. When we start talking, the world end. Did you end the world?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
Honestly, the world sucks. People are a plague, and I hope it brought a slow and painful ruin to the all. For the other are bound the world anyway.
At least you're being honest. I can't believe that the fate of the entire world has been left in the hands of a nihilist. The princess shifts in uncomfortable confusion.
Me too. I don't care.
She wasn't confused for long. If she doesn't care, then clearly she didn't end the world. It would take a great desire for evil to do something so inconceivable, and our dearest has not an ounce of cruelty within her. All is well, and it's high time we rescued our beloved.
Why did you do that?
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone.
Definitely.
She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
We do have to cut you out. Again, I really didn't care for the last time. I'm sorry about what happened last time. The narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body. It was extremely unfair.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually.
That's because she's perfect.
Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
Do I have to cut you out again?
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains.
Dann wäre sie ja schon längst wieder weg.
Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her. No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You're what? Yes.
You what?
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
Oh nein. Dann hebt er so am Ende das Messer, hebt so die Klinge und will so zustechen und dann macht er so diesen Move, übernimmt dann so kurz. So, er funkt so dazwischen, also zack. Ne? Und sticht sich einfach so durchs Kinn. Safe.
You wouldn't.
I would.
I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed.
What the fuck? What? Okay.
I can't believe it. But I guess I have to.
I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. Are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back, and everyone out there is saved.
Is that a threat? You know what we'll do if you try it.
You're going to regret this.
What do we do now?
Let's. What do you want to do? We leave, and then we have our whole lives to figure out what we want to do next.
Let me guess. End the world?
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I want you to tell me what you want. There must be something. Do you want to end the world? I just want to leave. We can figure out the rest later. If you want to leave, then let's leave. Something isn't right here, I'm sorry. Und dann... Wisst ihr was? Ich probier's. Was passiert, wenn ich sie jetzt einfach slay?
You turn the tip of your blade towards the unsuspecting princess. Thank you.
Wait. No, you barbarian, what are you doing?
But you ignore the pleas of the foolish little voice and strike. The princess's eyes grow wide with terror as the blade falls, but she does absolutely nothing to stop you. Your blade pierces her heart, and she collapses pathetically to the ground.
Oh mein Gott. Ohne Witz. Das ist so die... Ohne Witz. Das ist einfach die netteste... Junge. Die anderen irgendwie, weiß ich nicht, so richtig kalt. So. Nach jedem Wort... Give me a break. Und sie ist einfach... Er steppt sie einfach. Er steppt sie ins Haar. In ihr Haar. Einfach voll rein. Und sie liegt einfach da. Und ist irgendwie glücklich. What the fuck? What the fuck? Sie weint sogar. Also wahrscheinlich, weil sie es gerade stirbt, aber...
I'm sorry. Did I do something wrong?
Sie fragt auch noch.
My love, you did nothing wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not you.
I'm going to die now. I think that's what you want.
And just like that, she's dead. And the world is saved. Thank
Lady
you
killer.
for seeing this through. I know
Slayen.
it must have been difficult.
Slayen innocent.
I feel sick.
Sick. You took part in the murder of the fairest creature that's ever lived. And you merely feel sick. I, for one, am absolutely distraught. Grief-stricken. Inconsolable.
Was die unschuldigste Person überhaupt?
You'll get over it. You just saved everyone.
Get over it? You smarmy ass. There's nothing in the world worth getting over it for. We might as well just end it all.
You raise the blade, aiming the point directly towards your heart. Excuse me? No, you absolutely do not do that. Yeah, let's not make any rash decisions. We should give ourselves a minute, take a deep breath, and...
Rash. The only rash decision we've made was running our cursed blade through her heart. This is far from rash. This is measured. This is the only thing left for us to do now that she's gone.
Das ist wie dieser Dark Souls-Tod, wenn man so gestabbt wird. Dieses wo die dann so hinfallen und dann das zusammensacken. I'm the one who makes the decisions here and I say no.
Exactly, you're not doing this. All of you may have previously thought that my passions were too great to stifle, but those were merely passions of joy. My passions of sorrow run deeper than the ocean itself, and you'll find that they are far more unstiflable. Haven't you? Haven't you all? I don't believe this.
Stabbt er sich wirklich jetzt selbst?
What don't you believe? You plunge the blade into your own heart and collapse to the floor. You can't be serious. Why are you helping him? I'm not. He just made it happen. I'm sorry. That's right. You're all sorry. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Oh, Chapter 3, The Grave.
You're on a path in the wood. You horrid monster. Do you think just because we've returned to...
Wait. Okay, komm, ich will das nochmal laden. Ich will das jetzt nochmal neu laden. Oh. Ah, Lord of the Rings ist fertig. Load. Ich will jetzt sehen, was passiert, wenn wir jetzt einfach gehen. If you just want to leave, we can figure out the
That
rest.
sounds perfect.
As the princess takes your hand in hers, you let your blade tumble uselessly to the floor, and with it tumbles the last hope for the entire world. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
I think I've got this. When we try together.
Okay, yeah, you've got this.
You place your hand on the door, and the lock clicks, and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? Ha! I knew it. Your words are no match for the pure strength of our hearts, bound together as one. You and the princess make your way upstairs. Her freedom and the world's ruin are just a few moments away. If you don't mind, I'm going to fix myself a drink before you ruin everything. If I'm about to see the end of the world, I'd rather not see it sober.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside.
Your love will set you free. Romantic haze. Oh God.
A happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
Oh, jetzt kommt wieder hier The Void.
Where did everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
but you don't get the chance to make the jacket. Nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory
She's gone.
return.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Of course you're scared. This is the end for you, but it's not the end for me.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now.
Do it then. End us all before I die of a broken heart.
Approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. The bloat. You've grown. You've grown. You found yourself in a long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. Ah, you're at the cabin. Approach her.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
We're not the same being of how much have you changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
What does it feel like to change like this?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
Okay, you know what? At the end of this, once you're finished, I'm going to kill you, right? Back. The world close around me. Why can I not do the same things I've done before?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
Yeah, when this is all done, do you know what you want? Kinder. Kinda. What do you want me to bring you next time?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Okay. At the end of this.
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you.
Your will cuts across the entity in front of you, but nothing happens.
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now.
Okay. There's a will to end your life, but as it buries into the space your body should be, you feel nothing at all. One of the many hands in front of you reaches forward and gently touches the side of your face.
There's nowhere for you to be but here.
Oh.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Und schon wieder wirft sie ihn durchs Fenster. Oh, bring a damsel to her. Bring the damsel, okay.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And you're here to slay.
Okay. Ich glaube, ich mache jetzt einfach einen Cut und dann machen wir mit dem Grey weiter. Ich habe ja den anderen Spielstand noch. Ne? Also das andere Mal, wo ich gesaved habe. In dem Fall. Wobei, ich speichere das jetzt auch mal. Ich überspeichere hier. Override your save. Genau.